The 100 X amount of years Angola been a prison. Nobody ever been cremated, but they did it to avoid the investigation from the Fed.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
He hate prisoners because his old lady worked there and an inmate was fucking them. And it embarrassed him. You see what I'm saying? It embarrassed him. So he was messed up. He hated us. You know, so the white folks used to go get him and they had what you call a cell entry team. So if you in the cell already and you don't want to comply, you don't want to come to the bar to get shackled, you don't want to get your hair cut, whatever, they go send a cell entry team in. They gonna come and they gonna say, come to the bar to be restrained. You gonna say no and all that. So the real convicts, they really knew how to fight back with nothing. They go put that powder on the floor. So that powder, they go,
they get to slide.
They go, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they'll put that powder on the floor, or they knew how to tie their cell. You know what I'm saying? That was the dude that been there 30, 40 years. That's all they did was play what we call cell games. You know what I'm saying? So when they come in, they had one dude named Hooks, bro. He didn't want to cut his hair. And the dude, we called him Hook because he had a deformed arm. He had one of them kind of arms.
Yeah.
Man, they hit Hooks with that 50,000 volt shield, man. Hooks' bush went that way, his slipper went that way, his little arm went this way. Like, they were just brutalizing dudes. They didn't give a fuck about your deformity, your size, or nothing, man.
Damn, was that the worst? He didn't make it?
Yeah, he made it.
He made it?
Fortunately, he survived that shit.
What was the worst death you seen or either heard about that happened to a person?
Man, it was how many, bro? You had some white dudes, they got together with a few dudes and kicked off an escape. They killed the captain. They hit the captain in the head with a hammer. And so the warden was like, y'all ain't getting away with that. So the warden, he said his other assistant warden went shot the dude in the back of the head. They had him already on the ground surrendering. Shot him in the back of the head. Cremated the body. In the history of Angola as a prison, the 100 X amount of years Angola been a prison. Nobody ever been cremated. But they did it to avoid the investigation from the Fed that would have saw y'all murdered this man was on the ground with his hands spread out when you shot him in the back of the head. And they cremated him to destroy the evidence.
Damn. Was there ever any riots that you've seen or been a part of while you was there?
Well, I went from a transition. When I first got there, I was just a thug, street nigga, you know, that typical shit. Then when I started reading, because they would put me on lockdown, so I started reading. That's what kept me sane, bro. Reading, man. A lot of people say that shit is corny, educational. Man, that shit, bro, that's what kept me sane, man. That's why I'm able to function out here the way I'm able to function. So reading and stuff like that. So, this one dude, Comanche, he did 44 years for a rape he didn't commit. The doctor said he couldn't complete his examination because the little girl hymen was still intact. And he did 44 years. So he was like one of the first solid dudes that I met up there that it's like we was in that place, but not of that place.
What are some of the books that you read that really expanded your mind?
Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, The ISIS People, The Bride of Files, The 40 Laws of Power, The Wretched of the Earth. You know, like that deep shit. You know what I'm saying? That really summed up. It really showed me what I was going through. It's like I was back in the 1700s. I was able to really live that shit.
What was the longest book? How many pages was it?
Man, I think the Wretched of the Earth, man, I think it was like 1,000 or some pages, you know?
Yeah. What was one principle you pulled out of that book that, like, if you was going to recommend that book to somebody, what was something that you learned from it?
Most of the things is based on knowing who you are. When you know who you are, you did. When we evolve and we realize that we ain't the street dude that they made us out, that we thought we was. That shit was just a trick. It was a facade. It was bullshit that we glorified and looked up to, because whoever is like, you got 26 letters in the alphabet, right? But whoever create the alphabets, they created all 26 letters. So they tell you, you got your own free will, just pick one. So whichever one you pick, you picking what they designed for you.
Real life. If that shit ain't real life,
It ain't real life.